What is up, YouTube? McIntyre here. I wanted to do a new tier list Tuesday today, as I haven't really touched my tier list for, I guess now, looks like more than a week and a half. Some opinions on the game have changed since, so I wanted to kind of go over them and update and change this tier list live with you guys today. So I think the first thing that comes to mind that I think really needs to change is the Samuro. I do believe that he currently probably is S tier. I don't know if it's necessarily because of him being OP, but I do know that I personally hate playing against him in Hero League because people are really bad on my team and don't know how to play against him, or we just don't counter pick well enough against him, right? So he's just kind of an annoying hero, sort of like Vikings, but he's much stronger than them, and he can one-shot people and never die at level 20. So it can be frustrating to play against, and I think for that reason he has S tier. The other change, just looking at my S tier, is I don't think Chin is S tier anymore. He's probably somewhere here on the warrior list, and even looking at Zarya, I think Zarya is somewhere over here on the tier 2 now. Chin was dominant in lane, but people are figuring out ways to beat him in lane. And the problem with Chin is that if you take him and your team's not doing any damage, then he's very low impact. He won't kill people without your team killing people. And for that reason, I don't know if I necessarily like him. I mean, he's still tier 1, but he's not tier S. Like, he's not like Samuro where you just one-shot somebody, or Malf where you root and Twilight Dream somebody. So he just doesn't have the same impact. So for that reason, he is going to be moved down to tier 1. And looking now at the tier 2s, since I've come down to Zarya, we have the Dahaka. I think I'm going to move him to tier 1. He's like one of my favorite picks in Hero League if I have to play Warrior, just because of his global, and I don't think anyone knows how to really play against his tongue still. Like, at level 16, once I get tongue range, it feels like I just get free picks everywhere. So for that reason, I'm going to bring him to tier 1. He's also a CC tank, so having some sort of stun is always powerful. And looking at my tier 1s, Warriors, I honestly think ETC is currently better than Muradin. These two are sort of interchanged forever, but I think currently with Stage Dive, the fact that it's global, it's going to be picked. When we look at League of Legends, there were so many heroes that had global jumps, and we had like Nocturne, who could hit his ultimate and then dive anywhere on the map at a certain target. You had Pantheon with his global jump, and you had Twisted Fate with his global teleport, and all of these heroes got this mechanic nerfed to shorter ranges, and for good reason, because global range on an ability is pretty silly. And I think we're starting to see this with ETC, especially with the reintroduction of Echo Pedal, which was this was the build back in the day. For anyone who didn't play, probably I want to say a year ago. I don't know how long until that patch has happened, but ETC used to get Echo Pedal at 4 and move speed at 7, and now they gave him move speed at 4 and Echo Pedal at 7. The only difference now is that your Q talents are built in, so you get block on AoE at 1 now, and you can potentially spec into big W range at 4 instead of move speed. So the build diversity of the hero prior to what he used to be, I mean, I think we do lose Guitar Hero now, yeah. So, but which was like an auto attack reset crit on your E. But we get a lot of talent, and bringing this Stage Dive back because of Echo Pedal has been huge for ETC, and it's made him probably, like I said, the best warrior in the game at the moment, and an easy pick in Hero League. I think Muradin's still tier 2, still really strong, and Chin is very powerful, so it's not. I don't think that's wrong either, and I do think the introduction of Dahaka to tier 1 is appropriate. Looking at the assassins, Li Ming is still incredible to carry with. She's probably one of the best heroes that I've had luck with in Hero League. I took Falstad away, but I'm bringing him back, I think. I want I like Falstad over Thrall even at this point. I like the bribe talent level 1 for my Falstad right now. Just being able to bribe on certain maps has affected the way the game plays out. So plus it gives him better 1v1 with the level 1 talent. I still go like Q build after that, but that's been my current build. Yeah, Li Ming Alarak still I think is the best assassin as far as melee goes in the game. Tychus is appropriate. The double tank meta, he also just messes up all those tier 1 warriors. Yeah, Falstad, and then you have Thrall. I've always felt like Thrall is strong in Hero League. Just doesn't matter if he's not that meta at the moment. I still feel like a good Sunder can win a game where you basically crush lane most of the time with Thrall and can find solo kills with him. So looking at the specialist, I still think Hammer is the only one that is a tier 1. I don't know. I have a really good success rate with her. There was a game I played last night where I played against a Stitches and ended up throwing really hard. I don't know why. I thought I was out of range of his Q, and it was on Towers of Doom. He threw a Q from his camp when I was mid sieging, but I wasn't far enough up, and it hit me, and I ended up throwing the game. But still think Hammer. I was crushing the game up until that point. So. Ariel and Brightwing, these are probably fair as far as where I want to be at after Malfurion's banned, and most games Malfurion's first banned, so it's appropriate. Looking at the tier 2s now, Joanna, Tyrael, Zarya, those are all Arthas. These are all picks that you want to take if those picks above are taken already. The Rexar is there because of his certain map strengths. He's got Braxis and Dishar. So I like my tier 2 warriors. My assassins, Lunara, Nova, Gul'dan, Zeratul. I think Nova, because of the nerf to her pinning shot bug, is no longer a tier 2. So I would move her there probably now. And I would actually move Kael'thas up to tier 2 at the lowest. Because he does bring a CC, I think he's back up to T2 for me. He also has lots of wave clear, and a lot of the time in Hero League, wave clear is undervalued. So you end up getting teams that can't clear waves at all. So Kael'thas can kind of help that out. Same with the Gul'dan pick. I think people are learning how to play with Gul'dan, so I still like him at tier 2. And we have our Kerrigan Zeratul, which to me are the other next best melee assassins. And on most maps, they actually do a really good job. So I think all that looks really well. This is Nazebo at tier 2. I don't really like, actually. I'm going to bring that down here. Probably below the Medivh. Nazebo hasn't... He's had some success, but I don't think he's better than Silver Zagara. The Zul pick, it's not bad either. I debate whether or not Zul should be tier 1. But, you know, I don't think he is. His problem is your effectiveness in a team fight is nil if you root somebody and don't kill them. So, with a sustain meta, it's hard to say. He could be tier 1. He's just right on the grasp of it. I don't know. He's right there on the cusp of it or something, I think is the saying. And then Abathur, he's always going to be effective if played correctly. So our 3 supports, Medic, Lily, Tass, that seems about right for me, at least. If the other team has lots of autos, Lily's pretty good. She also has a lot of sustain. Medic is the same way. Medic, if the other team can get to you, is godlike heals. And Tass, I think, still enables a lot of heroes that are good right now, so I like that. Tier 3s, Sonya, Stitches, Arctis, all pretty good heroes, right? Just nothing that I would love to scream in excitement about. So those are all appropriate. Nova, Chromie, Butcher, Illidan, Greymane, and Jaina. Some would argue with me and say I'm also gonna argue it myself. I think these go below this, like that. I still think Nova's really good in your league because people are bad and you can just slay them. But yeah, Specialist Medivh, just made a video about him. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. He is really good. He is really good in Hero League, especially the higher levels. But lower down, I wouldn't take him. And then we have just our cheesy all of our cheese specialists. They work. It works. It works sometimes, but I'm not going to advocate you guys taking them. And then when you look at our tier 3 supports, I would honestly say Monk is the lowest tier. Although Good Palm is good, like, Monk has felt very lackluster recently. Uther Tronda's really good with the Stun Tank. Uther's pretty good at enabling a couple heroes with D-Shield. Plus he has Stun and Shrink Ray. Then we look at our tier 4 warriors. I have Diablo at the lowest. I don't know. Recently I think Diablo has just been garbage. Because of the meta, really. Like, he has a hard time beating double tanks or double supports. Same with Leo. I don't know why people are still taking him, but not a huge fan. And Anubarak has never been effective until, like, I mean, a couple of patches ago, I guess he was. But they nerfed his, his ability to dodge damage with E. And I think for that reason, he's lost a lot for me. Tracer is good if you have the Tassadar. And same with, I guess, Raynor. But both of them, I don't know. The Tracer's probably a little bit more better at getting picks than the Raynor is. I just hate Raynor. He just always feels like if your team's not doing enough, you're not doing enough. And then Rhaegar recently has not impressed me at all as a supporter. It feels like every time I take Rhaegar or someone on my team takes Rhaegar, we lose. Obviously, he has a couple good games. Maybe I'm being harsh, but I've just not been impressed with the hero recently. So, yeah, he's get the bottom for me. So, the things that really have changed is that the Haka is coming up. A lot of the strengths and globals are coming up. I mean, I think, honestly, Brightwing should be here. That's just how the global game is panning out. Even the moving up of Falstad again. So, this is probably how I've been selecting heroes. I don't think I disagree with any of this. So, this is my updated tier list. The date now is 11/1. Yep. Alright, guys. So, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you did like my thought process, please make sure to throw a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can always check me out on Twitch and Twitter, where I'll be tweeting and streaming live. You can always ask me questions there. If you have any questions about this tier list in particular, or a hero that you think is much stronger, please let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Cheers to you all. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all next video.